Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. I'm TCaptainX. If you're struggling to adjust to the new mechanics and the new iteration of Warzone, aka Warzone 3, or you just want to get better at the game, then you came to the right place. In this video, we're going to be breaking down and trying to help you guys improve at one of the main pillars of Warzone. There's kind of three main pillars in my opinion. There's aim, movement, and then the final one is game sense. And that's what we're going to be focusing on in today's video. Now, when it comes to aim and movement, if you feel like you're still struggling there, I do have a previous video where I have like a guide where I go through a lot of this and cover this in a lot of detail. But I'm doing more videos on that in the future as well. But I think the game sense or decision-making aspect is probably the most important one in what really separates kind of the average to the good and great player. And in my opinion, the best way to improve at game sense is to put yourself in a difficult situation, especially when you have to fight outnumbered. And the easiest way to do that is to play solo versus at whatever in resurgence. So I mean solo versus duos, solo versus trios, solo versus quads, because you're outnumbered. But in resurgence, we're going to respawn as long as you queue in as a solo. And now we even have the extra added benefit that when we are as a solo, the loadouts are cheaper as well. So this is a solo versus trios game where I dropped over 30 kills, and we're going to be breaking this down and kind of going through a live play-by-play action so that you guys can help understand of how to kind of go about some of these decisions and what to do in these situations that you can start implementing in your own gameplay. So I'm landing here kind of in the center area of the map. I like this particular area because there is a buy station nearby. So my first thought when I land in is I want to find guns, and right off the rip here, we've got a guy across from here. Now, notice how one of the big things is all about how you utilize cover. Notice how I am up against this wall and only basically here up is exposed for me, and I'm just pre-aiming and waiting for this guy to jump out. He's going to try to hit some jump shot, but he misses all of his shots on me, mainly because I was such a small target to hit, simply because I'm utilizing cover. His teammate is landing in, and I think he kind of realizes too late, tries to float away, but can't get away. So we're going to pick up 2 quick kills off the rip here. Now, I've got okay guns. I've got a Lockwood shotgun, which actually this gun's not bad. And we've also got like a Holger 26 LMG, it looks like now. So at this point, my main goal was I want to find $7,500 because that's how much a loadout costs for solos in Warzone. But I've got a lot of people around me. I'm kind of hearing footsteps. I'm not really sure where. Audio in this game, very, very inconsistent right now, unfortunately. They have acknowledged that they're going to be trying to work on that and improve on that. Maybe. But you kind of have to just not trust your audio at times. So notice one very small thing. Notice how as I'm going up those stairs, how every single time I'm side canceling around that corner. And when I'm doing that, look at my crosshair. My crosshair is right at the top of the stairs as I come around every time. And that is just basic centering. But I see a lot of players struggle with that. So I wanted to point that out there. Because if there is a player right here and my aim is looking down at the ground, I need to not have to take that extra time to adjust to that shot. Because the time to kill in this game is a little bit faster than what it was in Warzone 2 right now, especially with some of these more broken guns. So as I come out here, let's go back here just a second so I can explain this. There's a guy right behind me on top of the stairs, and he starts shooting me in the back. So I immediately get to cover trying to figure out where this guy is, and I peek up and he is right here. Got the shotgun, we hit the shot, and we're gonna drop down and hit another one. Now, the majority of the roofs in Vondel, you can jump off of and you're gonna take some fall damage, but you're not gonna die. So that was one of the situations where just having that awareness, I knew I don't have to worry about that. So I go right back up. I hear an enemy dropping in, so I'm trying to figure out where the heck is this guy. I'm looking up in the sky. There's a lot of noise going on, and I really have no idea. Take care of that prox mine. There's a guy on this roof. I did not hear him at all. Now, one thing I want to point out is I do play auto tac sprint, and a lot of people have trouble with this with shotguns here. So one tip is, especially when you are using a shotgun and just movement in general, is every time you're going to shoot your shotgun, hit a slide, because then you don't have to worry about being in that auto tac sprint and your shotgun not wanting to shoot. So we slide around, and that guy just has no idea where I was, probably partially because he did not hear me. Got people all around me here, but again, notice how I switched to my long range gun, because obviously that's a bad fight to take with a shotgun. But notice how I dive down when I start getting shot at. I switched to my long range gun, and we're gonna peek up behind this kind of AC vent thing, because again, now I'm a smaller target to hit. I got a lot of people around me at this point, so I'm just running basically for my life here, and I'm just trying to get away here. Thankfully, that guy didn't chase me there. And now I'm just trying to, I don't want to go peek out from that same angle again. So we're going to take a different route, and we jump down, reload our guns, play it up as we do that. We're going to come up through a different angle. Now, notice how as soon as I slam that door open, I'm not just running out there in the open like, let's go. I open the door and I stop and I look because I came out with the shotgun thinking there might be a guy on this roof, but instead we have a guy landing in. So we switch to the long range gun. We're going to take him down, take care of him. Now, eyes go to the minimap. When you're playing Resurgence, every time you get a kill, their teammates are going to ping where they are on the map, as long as Resurgence is not disabled. So if the Resurgence thing over here says disabled, or down here if it says disabled, you're not going to get minimap pings. So because of that, I have my long range gun out and I immediately start looking where that first red dot was. Don't see anything. Take our time, get cover, reload here, and figure out where to go here. Again, as I come out here, I'm checking my surroundings. We don't see anything. Okay. Again, my goal is still I need to get loadout money here. I'm a little bit short. So we're going to keep looting and keep trying to fight around me in this area here. So we switch to the long range gun. Notice how I'm on the top of the ledge. I'm just trying to looking down. I'm not just full sending without jumping. Don't see anything. So now we can go across to the roof here. We jump up and oh crap. Two dudes right here. This guy's already looking at me and this guy isn't. Now, thankfully, I do have my long range gun out here. So I'm going to immediately attack the threat that is looking at me, which is the left one. He gets behind cover. Now, notice how I scooch up to the left a little bit. Again, when I scooch to the left, I'm using this wall here so that only kind of like the right diagonal of my body is exposed. We get the down here, but I don't just push right where they are. I push around and above them, switch to the close range gun, and then now this guy is just absolutely clueless. Very good rule of thumb in Warzone is do not push from the same angle that they were just shooting you from. Take a slightly off angle. Now, after that kill, you might have noticed here, if you looked at the minimap, and as we're doing this, try to train yourself when I get a kill to look at the minimap in the top left here. We get this kill. We have a ping over here with a down arrow. So in case you're newer to Warzone, when there's a ping with a down arrow, that means they are below a level. They are below you in terms of verticality. So I start looking over that direction here with my long range gun. As soon as I get things reloaded, I'm looking down and then here he comes up. Most likely he was on the stairs coming up. Now, one more subtle thing here that I did. You're going to notice how I'm on the ledge looking, but when I see him, I drop down from the ledge because you hopefully have figured this out by now. Again, I got behind cover. I'm a smaller target when I'm behind that wall. Make sure you are not standing completely in the open when you're taking these gunfights. Even if it takes an extra second or two to move before you start shooting, try to find cover to work off of. So, hectic early game, 9 kills in the early game just with ground loot. We finally have enough money. Now, our free loadout came in, but I'm still gonna buy a loadout because if I die, now I have another loadout to go land on. I accidentally threw that loadout over the roof there, but it's all good. So I am running the BAS-B and the WSP Swarm, which is the absolute meta right now in the game. Hopefully, we see some weapon bouncing here soon. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go hit that second loadout. Because everyone has overkill no matter what in this game, there's no need to worry about hitting the loadout twice. We're going to leave that. And right now, I'm looking for people. I don't really have information on where anyone is, but now, because when you shoot unsuppressed weapons in the game, now I've got a bunch of red dots popping up here. Now I know where to start looking. We've got the BAS-B out. We're going to crack this guy. I actually flicked my aim off him too quick because I thought I killed him. So unfortunately, I miss out on that kill. And we're just going to kind of start picking people off from up here. BAS-B, very hard hitting gun right now. Does have a lot of recoil. But again, notice how I am when I'm up there. I'm trying to keep, a smaller part of my body exposed. Get high alerted. This guy's going to land in on me. Very bad mistake. Never try to land directly on people, guys. You're going to almost never win that. Another guy tries to do the same thing. Do not do this. They're giving me free kills at this point. As far as perks go, I am running, generally I'm running the sleight of hand perk, double time, tempered and high alert. I have played around with the flex perk in perk 4 because that does help with your audio, but I still feel like high alert is more valuable to me. Now I want to rewind here just a tad here and explain this situation here. So this guy, I saw this guy jump up here on this roof. So I move directions just slightly and I mount up and I just wait, because 9 times out of 10 people are going to get too impatient and they're going to expose themselves. So a lot of the times, most people are going to be overly aggressive in this game and you can let them come to you and make the mistake. Now, that doesn't mean you sit in a corner, but when you're in an active gunfight, there's a lot of times where you don't always have to be the aggressor, and playing smarter is the better option, essentially. So I kind of clear out this area. Now I've got 9 grand. Whenever you have more than 6 grand, you can buy a UAV. And so I do that. And there's a lot of people over this area on kind of the side of the map. So again, we take high ground and notice how I'm not just like full sending, like with blinders on and I'm tunnel visioning. I get up to an area and I start looking around and kind of trying to see where people are here. And there's a ping closer in these little houseboats. I don't see him. So now we start to move up, but now we see him. Notice how I did not shoot there right away. The reason for that is what's called trigger discipline. When someone's in front of you, but they're about to get behind cover, if you start shooting and then you don't kill them and then they get to cover, now you're in a bad spot. Now they know you're there. They can play it up behind cover. So instead, this guy doesn't know I'm here. I'm behind him. I wait till I find a little bit better area to shoot him where I have a clearer shot, and then we take him down. It does help that the BAS-B is kind of broken. So now we're going to get some more pings. So we get a ping above over here. And we also get this ping that there's the ripples, but there's no dot there. What does that mean? So this is actually something that I only finally figured out recently due to one of my viewers in my stream helping explain this to myself. These ghost ripple pings are not the ghost pings like they were in Rebirth and Fortune's Keep back in the day. This means there is another teammate on their team that is dead and has not yet respawned. And I think this means where they're going to respawn next, maybe. But basically it just means there's not anyone actually there, but there's another one that's like in the respawn timer waiting. So we're going to get my guns reloaded. We're going to head out here and try to check. There was a lot more pings over here. We see this guy right in front of me here. Unfortunately, we don't get the down here. But here's the thing. This is instantly in game. I remember this moment happening and I'm like, you know what? This is a bad fight to push. The reason for that is I was pushing into an area where it's an elevated building and I have no cover from me to them. It's the chances of me pushing there and one of them peeking me as I push is very high, and I'm probably going to die. So it's one of those things where I'm just like, you know what? This is a bad fight for me to take. I'm out of here. We do try to take some shots in this guy. Honestly, probably wasn't the smartest to take those shots, to be completely honest, because it was too far away. So we're gonna go back. We've got more money. We're gonna buy another UAV, and I'm gonna get a little bit closer up this direction. I'm gonna wait to call it here just a moment before we call another one, because I'm just like, I want to go find a different area of the map. So we pop the UAV, a lot of people around me. I'm gonna go over to the redeployed balloon so we can get kind of quicker here. And where I'm eyeing right now is I'm eyeing this area because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe like 6 dots, and there's another team over here. Now I know in these buildings, I have a lot more cover I can work in and out of. So I ping where they are, and you're gonna see we've got 1, 2, I think 3 people all in this area here. So as I'm landing, I know that I don't want to land directly on them. There's a 0 chance I do that and I win this fight, no matter how good I am. So I want to land off and I want to work cover. I don't get over where I have in time. And when I land, 1, 2, 3, what's between me and them? Nothing. I cannot take this fight. If I start shooting, even if I have amazing aim, one of them is going to turn and fry me. So I do not shoot here. I immediately run, get to cover, play it up as I cut off the line of sight. Now we find some high ground and I can use this ledge in front of me as cover because I can just prone and back off to use it as cover. We knock 1, we knock 2, we back up, get cover, reload, and we knock the 3rd. Now, again, part of that is because the BAS-B is just absolutely broken in the game right now. Here comes a random 4th, and when I do that, I have no idea where that guy came from, to be completely honest. But we got 2 dots down below me. Now I know from map awareness that there is a stairwell right here. I'm also getting high alerted to my left. And this is why I love high alert, simply because I have no indication there's a player to my left. There's nothing on the mini map. I don't hear any audio, but high alert tells me I'm getting looked at. And so what most likely was, there was probably somebody in the air above me, because as soon as I dropped down, that high alert went away. And now I know I can focus my eyes back where these mini dots were. So notice how I'm waiting to see, are they going to be aggressor? Are they going to be aggressive because I killed their teammate and his teammates maybe making a call out like, yo, he's up there, go get him. I sit here, nothing happens. We peek, don't see anyone. Now we start coming down here. Here's one of the ones on the stairwell. Had good, again, another small thing here, but as we went down there onto the stairwell, notice how I had good centering and I don't have to adjust my aim hardly at all. We come down the stairwell, my aim is already pointed towards this next platform, and I have a very small adjustment of where I have to move my aim. We use the throwing knife so we can conserve ammo. Very important with the swarm. The swarm has a kind of lower damage for mag if you run the 50 round mag. Now I get high alerted. I look where I get high alerted, and here's this guy staring at me. And again, the way I'm positioned on this stairwell, only like my head is visible to him. He has a very small target to hit. So, and notice how I even back up and go to the left, and then we fry him because he barely has an angle to shoot me, but he's standing on that ledge, his whole body exposed, and he makes it easy for me to get the kill essentially. We're gonna loop down here, and then a little bit of a double camera break. We kind of broke each other's camera here. But here's we haven't talked too much about movement in this video. So let's explain this right here, because this is a great, simple use of a slide cancel. So we drop down, we go up. Again, aim is centered up here. He's not looking at me, so I'm going to take shots, but he does the right thing. He gets shot and he's gone. But he's obviously seems like a more aggressive player. And he tries to do what's called the re-chow. He's going to immediately go out of cover and then come back and immediately re-challenge. So as I come up, he's already coming this way, and I was fully expecting him to be running away up the next set of stairs. But as I see him here, we slide, and then we start turning around, and we kind of break each other's camera right here. And let me go back and we'll just play it here in full speed. That way you guys can get a better idea. But just notice how I slide right around the apex of the corner, and then we're gonna turn around, and basically we both do the same thing, but I hit better shots, and I had him weak for like I hit him first. He only got a plate and a half off of me basically. So we're at 21 kills already in the third circle. We're kind of I know at this point I'm like, okay, this is a good game. We're fine. So we're going above me. I'm hearing some stuff above me. I go up nice and slow and I check the ladder. Now, one thing that's new is, notice, do you see how I have a pistol out here? In Warzone 3, you always have a pistol on ladders and underwater. Even if you don't have a pistol in your loadout. I don't technically have this in my loadout, but you always have this. So just keep in mind. Now, turn around, we find that guy, fry him with the BAS-B. We're gonna get up an angle here so I can get a finish. And I wasn't sure if he had a self-res or not, so I am gonna jump over to get that finish. I did get high alerted to the right. We have a ping, it's fading away here, but we have a down arrow here. So I'm gonna reload my guns, and now, oh, and then hello, here comes this guy. But again, notice I get up to that wall, use the head glitch here, and notice how he was not. He's standing on that top of the wall, his full body is exposed, making it an easy kill for me. Hopefully you guys have gotten to realize that, how the majority of these fights, I'm with cover and my enemies are right next to cover, but they've put themselves in an area where they're more exposed. So, and this was still true with Warzone 2. Just a lot of people, I think, they were like, oh, we've got movement, we can go crazy here. Now this guy self-reses, and I kind of get lucky here. Dropping down in these ladders like this, very, very risky. Honestly, it was probably a bad play. Honestly, I probably should have dropped all the way down and worked up instead of dropping down, but thankfully, we hit our shots. I don't think he was fully plated. This guy comes sliding around the corner. I never heard an audio cue, and I didn't get my gun reloaded in time. His teammate was literally just sitting there, and he's like clueless. But he hits a nice slide on me, comes up very quickly, and I just don't hear it. It is what it is. But remember, we never hit our free loadout from earlier because I bought that loadout. Another thing too is with the loadouts only being 7,500 solos and just cheaper across all modes in general, You can buy multiple loadouts in this game if you have a lot of money. Throw an extra loadout down. It's not a bad idea at all. I've seen my friend Cup of Joe do that several times in his games where he'll throw 2-3 loadouts out if he has the money. Because if you die, you have another one to land back on. You don't have to worry about risking trying to land on your guns. So at this point, I'm trying to get some loot, get some armor, things like that, and just kind of get situated before I get back and start getting into fights. We see this guy out here. He was not looking at me. Great little jump chow from him. And then we got a guy landing in right away, and we're gonna hit a nice slide kind of around the corner. Let me back up here and play this. So this guy to my left here, he's not looking at me. I shoot him, but he uses that little sign and immediately jump chows back. This guy comes in, but notice how I push and I slide out as I aim in and start shooting. You can aim your gun while sliding now. That is a newer mechanic in the game. And that's something that I think people need to take advantage of more, of just sliding and aiming and not necessarily canceling the slide right away. But just that simple movement there of myself sliding forward probably made him miss a bullet or two and gave me a chance because I was weak from that previous engagement. So we're coming in the end game. I got 25 kills. Resurgence is disabled. If I die, it is over at this point. So I got to start playing smart. Enemy soldier incoming. I'm trying to get a feel of, is there anybody around me? I get high alerted and then like, oh, you know what? I don't have a lot of cover to work up. Bad fight. Bad fight. I pop a battle rage. I think I dropped my stims on accident somehow there and had a battle rage instead, but battle rage kind of functions a little bit like a stim in a sense. I do want to just say here real quick, if you guys are enjoying this style of video, if it's helpful for you, and if you want to get better at the game, consider subscribing to the channel. We do videos like this pretty often here, and a lot of other loadout videos, and just different guides to get better at the game and things like that. So I heard a zip, so that's why I'm checking this. Here is zip again, and here comes this guy. I missed some shots. The swarm also, a little bit wobbly recoil gun, not very good at mid-range here. So this guy comes flying out there, dives, but notice how I now switch to the BAS-B and we just pre-aim and slide out here, or not even slide out, but just strafe out here. So let's just kind of go back on this engagement. Hear it, miss shots. He tries to hit a drop shot, but immediately goes back to cover. Here he comes flying out there, but I recognize, you know what? That's a bad fight for me with my swarm. I'm just gonna peek out with my BAS-B. So you have to know your gun, know the swarm, for example, is a ultra close range SMG. It fries within about 6-7 meters. But beyond that, it kind of gets hard to use. So again, zone is coming in. Look at the mini map here. Zone's coming in, and I remember I got shot out here earlier. I'm trying to see, is anybody coming in? I don't see anyone, so now let's go take roof. Okay, now let's pause this right here. Obviously, we see this guy down here. I'm gonna be honest, in this moment, I saw something here, but it didn't look like a player to me. For some reason, I thought this was like a dead body or something, and my brain did not register this guy here. So let me just play this out. I get shot, prone behind cover, try to throw a plate on as I get pushed. Here comes that guy that I didn't see. Prone, stim for the health regen. Bam. Crazy situation there. But let's go back here and break this down, because this is a huge moment in the game that I almost kind of sell the game on here. So we come up, 2 players here, right? My brain only saw 1. So even if I only saw 1, I still want to get to cover, but I get pelted. In a split second, I am down to no plates and half health. So I try to throw on a plate really quick. This is the benefit of tempered. 1 plate is now 75 health instead of 50. Here comes this guy. Thankfully, this guy tries to slow peek this, and I'm going to very quickly switch to the swarm and try to move left quickly. So we move left, jump chow, throwing knife, dive, but look, I am 1 HP right here, maybe 2 HP. But this is where the stim does come in clutch in the situation. We're on 150 base health, so hitting this stim, I go from maybe 20 health to 150. And then this guy goes for a throwing knife and thankfully misses. And I'm able to somehow get out of there. That was I got very lucky in this situation because I did not see the closer guy, to be completely honest. And I'm pretty sure that guy also had like a BAS-B and just melted me as well. So we get precisioned. So I just start running. Thankfully, we don't get hit. I get a mini-map ping down below out by the water here. So we're gonna peek over there. There he is, frying with the BAS-B. Now, but look, this guy was shooting an unsuppressed weapon. And he's right there in front of us. So I'm gonna reload. I'm not sure if this guy heard me or not, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a different route, kind of wrap around left a little bit. Nice and slow, we're pre-aiming. Again, trigger discipline. He's very close to cover. I might not have a chance to down him. Slow down, we're gonna pre-aim. Here he comes. Hit a little drop shot there. We're good to go. Drop shots are very useful in those closer range situations when they are, you know, within maybe like 10 meters of you is a good time to drop shot. Beyond that, you don't really want to worry about drop shotting because you're just going to end up, they're going to shoot you in the head. All right, 30 kills, 15 people left here. I'm making sure nobody's wrapping behind me here. Getting a lot of minimap pings over the towards zone. Simply because of, you know, they're shooting unsuppressed weapons. I do have a gas mask on. One thing I'll say about the gas mask is kind of my rule of thumb. I keep it in my bag, like not on me, until about resurgence disables. When resurgence disables, I just put it on and deal with it. Mount up here. We're gonna fry this guy. The BAS-B, when you want to use it at these ranges, you really need to try to mount up because of its inconsistent recoil. Now we get high alerted. Okay, sniper. Again, notice how I probably could have backed up a little bit to give him a smaller angle to hit me. And I do, watch, see how I back up there? And I only expose a small amount of my head. Here's where I make the critical mistake, guys. I jumped down, I don't know if you saw, I got high alerted for like a split second there. I'm gonna get high alerted left. And there, high alerted left. I should have stopped right here. Because I still have 17 seconds, I have a durable gas mask, I have stims. I should have stopped and figured out who's looking at me. Instead, I just keep full sending. Remember how many times earlier in the video did I say, don't full send, take your time, check your surroundings, things like that. And guess what I do? I try to stim to stay alive. There it is. This guy probably heard me up here and was just sitting. And he hits really good shots. I mean, I don't think he misses a bullet there. Maybe when I got behind the car for a split second. Good shots by him. And guess what? Game's over because I made a stupid mistake. And that's one of those things where it's hindsight. You know, you wish you would have not done that. But even good players make these mistakes, and hindsight's 2020. But it is what it is. But regardless, it's a 31 kill game in a solo versus trios lobby. And again, by me playing in these lobbies, even myself, who is someone who's like a 4 KD player, I play all the time. This is the #1 thing that makes me better at the game, because then when you're in that trio versus trio or quad versus quad with your teammates, it's just that much easier when you have teammates to help support you. So give this a try, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Lots more videos to be coming, so consider subscribing for more stuff. We'll see you in the next one.